Maury Adams is a beast. I mean, that right there just shows how he's one of the best running backs in the entirety of the FCS. Looking at that replay, nice initial block, being able to bounce off those initial tackles at the line of scrimmage. Get off me, he says. Get off me. I'm taking you into the end zone with me if you don't get off me. Maury Adams, just a physical downhill running back. And that really puts this game out of reach for Stetson midway through the third quarter.
For the past 10 years, Fox Sports has presented the Byrnsie Award to a person in the NASCAR industry who shares the special qualities and character traits as my dad, Steve Byrnes. This year's deserving recipient, whose impact was immeasurable to the great sport, is public relations specialist John Edwards. The NASCAR community was shocked and deeply saddened by John's sudden passing in April. John worked closely with Jeff Gordon, standing tall right next to Jeff for every race and every iconic moment. And he was a beloved colleague and friend of ours before, during, and after Jeff worked at Fox Sports. Most recently, John helped guide the career of Kyle Larson at Hendrick Motorsports. With his knowledge, wisdom, smile, and compassion, he helped NASCAR grow. And my dad liked and respected John very much.
Has to scramble to keep possession. Three-pointer in the left corner, ultimately no good. Sertatis with the rebound. Radford trying to go fast the other way, and a slam dunk by Yamazaki.
Potentially tie this game as Hamby hits that one pretty deep. The ball's going, and it's gone! A two-run home run for the black and gold. This one is all tied up at 5 apiece. Puts that one on the ground, and that one gets through the gap. A runner coming home for the Mountaineers. Throw at the plate, not in time. App State wins. Taylor Chumley, an RBI single that brought Grace Barrett home, and App State wins this one 6-5.
Mason Sharon, have yourself a day. 2 touchdown carries, and we're not even through this first quarter. That was phenomenal blocking up front as well. You could drive a truck through that hole that he had with the offensive line. And Davidson, their run game is looking almost unstoppable here early.
Three-pointer from Lee. That one is good, and one! A 4-point play opportunity for UNCG here early.
That was a grown man hit right there by Njoku. I mean, my jaw just hit the floor seeing that, looking at the replay. Hard hit right there, causing him to go ahead and drop it. This Davidson defense was struggling on that first drive, but they now have things under control.
Strong play by Badmus, especially since that's Malcolm Wilson, who has nearly a half a foot on him, but he was able to get big and get the strong and one. And now Gardner-Webb's going to go ahead and have an and one opportunity to tie the game. But first, it's going to be a break here from Paul Porter Arena as Queens still leads by 1 on ESPN+.
And that one is hit into left field. It's going, and it's gone! A walk-off home run for the Spartans! UNCG has done it! As that one was crushed into left field, UNCG wins 2-1. Samantha Beck is the hero for UNCG.
And she puts that one into right field, and that one is dropped. Oh my! Hannah Maddox couldn't make the routine catch, and Betsy Eatman is coming home. The throw over to third, not in time. Gardner thought about going home for a second, but it was able to bounce off the wall straight back to Gracie Parker. And an error by Hannah Maddox ends up costing Wofford a run.
Now, as you said, you can't really get too different in terms of the offensive philosophies between both programs. Of course, Davidson running that spread option offense where they run the ball 75% of the time, and that's seen in the stats, averaging over 350 rushing yards per game. That's first in the entire FCS, also averaging nearly 6 yards per carry, whereas Stetson, they like to throw the ball a good amount, especially around 60% of the time. It's that air raid offense that's gotten them to be second in the PFL and 23rd in the FCS in terms of passing yards per game. And so we're going to see 2 very different offenses this afternoon, and it should put to rest the age-old question of, do you run the ball or do you throw the ball?
Promoto grad student from Goldsboro, North Carolina. He has an 0-2 count right now. He's fallen behind early. And he puts that one deep into left field. It's going, and it's gone! Case Kermode, a 3-run home run there. A huge homer that puts UNCG in the lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Still a lot of baseball left to play as that one's hit deep into right field. Is it going to be back-to-back home runs? Yes, it is! Parker White, he joins the party with Case Kermode, a solo shot into center right. Make it 5-1 for UNCG. Beckham crushes that one towards center field. It's going, and it's a grand slam! Tia Beckham, a huge grand slam there as Winthrop now on top, 4-2. 5 to go on the shot clock. They give it to Asadanya. Asadanya forces a three-pointer, and it goes! Runs and hit by pitches, and she gets a pretty good piece of that one. It's going deep. Bye-bye ball. That is a solo shot for Kat Rodriguez. Started in all 33 games coming into today. That one is absolutely crushed. And another solo home run for North Carolina. 9 minutes to go. Early gives it underneath. Nice passing there by the Highlanders. In the end, one.
Here early. Well, second verse, same as the verse. You got to remember, they wiped off the Nick Marion touchdown earlier, just ran the same play with him, and they said, QT Teasley, you deserve a touchdown here tonight. We're just going to run the exact same play in the back of the end zone because we know you can beat that Davidson secondary. Looking at that replay, he actually beat him by more than he did the first time around. Nicely placed ball by Mitchell Gossett as well. And we're a 2-point conversion away here, ladies and gentlemen, from this being a tie ball game early in the third quarter.
And that one is blasted by Lofton. It's going back, and that one is gone. Grace Lofton, a 3-run home run. UNCG now on top, 4-2. Grace Lofton, ice in her veins. A huge momentum swing towards UNCG. Pass into the box now. That one goes in! Oh my goodness! With 7 seconds left, UNCG ties it. Are you kidding me? Oh my!
Well, very much a redemption play right there after that first play of the game where he dropped and it was picked off. Garnett, just a huge player. We see what he did last week, 90 receiving yards and a touchdown catch. Looking at the replay there, just did a good job of beating those defensive backs across their face. Perfectly put ball by Cravens, and Garnett just goes ahead, turns on the Jets, and takes it to the house for Morehead State. Huge momentum switch right there in favor of the Eagles.
1-0 count now for McLean as she hits that one pretty deep into left. Is that one gone? Yes, it is! Back-to-back solo shots for Appalachian State. We're all tied up at 3 apiece. UNCG 6 turnovers in the last 4 minutes of play. 7 seconds to go now. Swift with it. She gets a screen. She drives to her right, trying to find someone open. That pullback jumper is good. It gives the Bulldogs the lead as the horn sounds to go ahead and bring quarter number 1 to a close.
Very solid drive right there by Marist, and it was a well put together drive. Unlike their first drive where they just had to rely upon a 68-yard touchdown pass, it was consistent. They were able to run the offense they wanted to run both on the ground and through the air, and what better way to top it off than giving it to your go-to player on offense to go ahead and get in the end zone. Marist, really nice response.
Just really nice cuts right there by Gardner-Webb, trying to work some stuff off ball and get some guys open. We need to see more of that for Gardner-Webb, especially going deep into Big South Conference play.
Trying to go ahead and put a bow here on set number 3. And ultimately the kill goes with Tillis, and they'll take set 3, 25-20. Back-to-back set wins for Davidson as they lead Rhode Island 2-1 going into set 4.
This is a Morehead State defense that has done more against Davidson than the majority of teams Davidson has played against this year. But at the same time, it's just not getting quite good enough results that it needs right now, especially with an offense that struggles at times to find the end zone. Now, that's usually been good enough for Morehead State, having their defense do most of the work. But today, Davidson, they've been able to crack that wall enough times to where Morehead State's offense can't catch up.
The grid walk. Yeah, thanks, Mike. It's going to be so much fun. I loved your father as this whole pit road did, Bryson, and honored that you're down here with me today.
Absolutely, Michael. I really appreciate that. You've been my main man for forever, and that really means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
You want to go grid walking?
Absolutely. Let's go over to Chase Elliott over here.
Oh, man, he just takes over.
Now, we are here with Chase the Champ Elliott. Now, you won the championship series last year, and you also won the All-Star race last year. You know the formula to success overall. So what do you need to do tonight to win?
Got a partner today.
Good to see you, Austin. Now, you know what they say. Everything is always bigger here in Texas. How big would a win tonight be for you?
That one hit into shallow right field, and the catch is made. Kalen Belfield with the nice diving grab there for UNCG to go ahead and get the Spartans out of the top of the first inning.
Great defensive play right there by Davidson. If you're having trouble stopping them, the main thing you could really use is a turnover, and that is a killer if you're Stetson. Now down 3 scores, already had the momentum snatched away from you. Just good job reading the quarterback's eyes. If you're Mites, you got to do a better job of not staring down your receiver. Those quarterbacks, they think they can go ahead and thread the needle with those over-the-middle throws, but oftentimes you just can't.
Even close as Virginia UMBC. Here's just some statistics. FDU was on average the shortest team in Division I. Purdue, led by Zach Edey, who is a consensus All-American and the Big Ten Player of the Year, 7'4", and their entire team on average is the tallest team in Division I. We hear the phrase David versus Goliath a lot in upsets, but this was literally a David versus Goliath type game. And it's even worse for Purdue if you consider that FDU really shouldn't have even been there in the first place because they did not win the NEC Conference Championship. They lost in the conference championship against Merrimack, but because Merrimack was still in the transition process moving from D2 to D1, FDU got the automatic bid, and they made the most of it.
I just think it goes to show that if you're a second or third string guy, you're working hard in the summer and during fall camp and spring ball, and you're thinking, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not going to get any playing time. That's not necessarily true. You never know when the guy in front of you is going to go down, and if 2 guys in front of you even are going to go down. So all that work you're putting in now, yes, it's for future seasons down the line, but it could come as soon as tomorrow if one play goes badly for the man in front of you.
Ian McGeehee, career record of 7-8. Did go 2-2 in the Southeast Open to begin the season, finished 4th in the 165-pound freshman sophomore division, and a hard takedown there. McGeehee gets the pin. How about that? A triumphant takedown that ultimately leads to a pin for McGeehee. 10 to go on the shot clock, 2 minutes to go in this one as well. Gamble, nice move there. She gets it to go. It's now a 9-point advantage for UNCG, their largest lead of the afternoon.
Today, Greensboro College trying to go transition. That shot far out saved by Polemis. Baylor Montoya now with it. Now LaGrange trying to go on the counterattack. They have the numbers at least momentarily. And that shot is a goal for the Panthers. Tyler Abrams able to get the second goal of the afternoon for LaGrange.
Mayone is such a solid special teams player for this Davidson team. Did a good job of making a hard cut to the right around the 30-yard line that ultimately gave him the space he needed to work with. Seeing the replay there, just plants his left foot, gets a hole, dodges a tackler. And yes, Holbrook was ultimately able to get him off the angle, but Davidson now with prime field position, what you need, especially if you're a run-heavy offense like Davidson trying to work this 2-minute drill.
Gamble now with it in the corner, spin move there. Trying to go with it in the paint, gives it to Kane. Kane, good concentration, and an even better basket. And put UNCG on the scoreboard as he blasts that one into center right. That one's going back, and it falls for the Spartans, and a runner coming home for UNCG. That'll go ahead and make it a 3-1 ball game. And as Jenkins heading over to third, it's an RBI triple.
Block. Wood again with a good dig. Karen forced to put it over. Blocked at the net, and what a play by the Spartans. Davidson trying to work it. Now they have a really good opportunity. Pass towards the top of the box, and that's a goal for Davidson.
But this is a Queens team. You're going to have to win games like this if you want to be competitive at the D1 level. Only their 3rd season in Division I, recently moved up from D2 as we go ahead and take a quick look at their upcoming schedule. Those 2 more non-conference games against Mercer, and then in Oxford, Mississippi against Ole Miss. But then it's a gauntlet right there, having to play last year's conference champion in Stetson, then Florida Gulf Coast, and then the favorite to win it this year, Lipscomb.
Is back, and he could get an early pin here. We'll see if he's able to do so. Looks like he's still going to get some near fall points regardless, and he does get the pin. Only 38 seconds into that one. Xavier McKnight making very quick work, put 6 more on the board for the Wildcats.
Under 10 to go here in the third quarter. Pass it back up top to Barry. Barry going to take a long shot, and he scores! Justin Barry goes top left.
SoCon tournament.
Wow. That's going to be a performance Sam Murchison remembers for the rest of his life. Getting this senior day start, going all 9 innings, and then getting all those strikeouts as well, and getting a big win over a conference rival there. You really have to give your hats off to Sam Murchison. Same also applies to Wright for Western Carolina, but Sam Murchison ultimately the one that comes out on top, and arguably his best game of his collegiate career.
Drew the foul.
Yeah, no surprise there for the Big South Co-Player of the Week for January 20th after having a double-double against Winthrop. And it was even crazier. Had 22 points and 16 rebounds in that one. But his Achilles heel is shooting from the line. Only 60% coming into today.
She puts that one on the ground over to Dean. Dean has trouble with it. Make it 3-0 for Wofford. Dean could not scoop that one up. A throw was not attempted over to first. And the Terriers, they're barking here early.
Coach Abel, he has a great bag of tricks, and it goes very deep. We saw the onside kick early on in this one. A little razzle-dazzle trickeration right there to go ahead and give it to Reyna in the end zone. Big offensive score right there by Davidson to go ahead and go back up by 2 possessions. Got to be impressed with how this Davidson offense has looked, especially in this first half.
Simply gives VCU a free ball. They get rejected at the net, though. They'll go ahead, restart their offense again. Nice dig there by Smith. VCU again goes on the attack. They keep it alive, and the point ultimately goes with Davidson.